Good morning students. Now today we are going to look at the question and answers of your consumer equilibrium chapter utility analysis. Okay. Here the first question. What happens when mu x upon px is greater than mu y upon py? So sometimes the question like this will be asked. Now here how to solve such a question? See, if this is the case, if mux is greater than MUI, so MU is nothing but marginal utility. So if this is the case, suppose if your PX is 1 and PY is also 1 over here, MUX is 10 over here because it is greater, and this is 6. So here you can say that MUX upon PY is this and MUY upon PY is this. So here 10 is greater than 6. So here we can say that the consumer is getting more satisfaction or high level of utility, marginal utility he is getting by spending money on X good. Why we can say that? Why he will be spending more money on X good? Because the utility is more he is getting. We have already seen in the previous video the spending pattern of the consumer will be according to the utilities. If the utility is high in X good, so where he is going to spend his money? Definitely here. Now what will happen when he will spend this rupee over here and he will consume this X good? The law of diminishing marginal utility will be coming into picture. Now because of that, when he purchase X good, because of this the marginal utility will fall, and one time will come that it will become equal to MUY upon PY. So here both will become equal. So what will be our answer in this case? So here this situation means that by spending a rupee on good X, the consumer gets greater marginal utility as we have discussed. So he is getting here more greater satisfaction he is getting here. So he will be spending definitely on the good where he is getting more marginal utility. Here he is getting more marginal utility by spending money on X good. So he will be purchasing X good over here. One more clue I want to give to you, that suppose in the question just look at this arrow here, this is greater than sign. So by this you can say that it is open on the side of MUX. Okay, so the side at which this arrow is open, like here it is open at the side of MUX, so write in your answer that a consumer is going to spend money on that particular X good, X commodity is going to purchase, because what will happen because of that, the law of diminishing marginal utility applies, because when he will spend more money on X good, the desire for X commodity with him will go down. So every time when he will be spending money, this marginal utility of X will decrease, and when it will decrease, one stage will come that it will become equal to MUY upon PY. So here, that in the case of Y good, accordingly he will spend more on X than Y. As consumption of X rises, MUX will fall. Okay. On the other hand, as consumption of Y falls, MUY will rise. Because here suppose you are spending only on one good and you are not spending money on the other good, so the desire for the other commodity will definitely rise. So here what is the other commodity? Other commodity is commodity Y, which he is not purchasing, so definitely the desire for that will go up. Suppose you are going to a restaurant and you ordered something related like a very good dish like palak paneer every time. Now on the other side you are neglecting a, other dish such as noodles, which also you like. Now if you are continuously purchasing palak paneer, so what will happen at this time? The desire for this dish palak paneer will go down, and on the other side you are not spending any money on noodles. So that thing, that marginal utility of noodles is going to rise, because your desire to have that noodles will rise on the other side. So what is happening here? On spending on this palak paneer, the desire will go down, and you are not spending money on the other good, which is noodles, it will rise up. So here also they are trying to tell you the same thing. Here you are not spending money on good Y, so the desire for Y commodity will increase, and you are consuming or spending money on X good, so it is falling. So it will balance it up at one stage, and this will be MUX upon PX is equal to MUY upon PY. This situation will come. Okay, so this is how you are going to write answer. Suppose here if this arrow is changed and arrow is like this. Now here the arrow is like this, so here what are you going to write now? Similarly, now here you can say that why good, by spending money, what a consumer should do here, he should spend money more on why good, because marginal utility is high in case of why good here. Now so he'll be spending more money on why. So what will happen? Because of law of diminishing marginal utility, the desire will decrease of why good, and on the other side he's not spending money on x good, so there the desire will increase. So again it will be a balance. Mux upon px is equal to muy upon py. This is the question of a two commodity case question, and it is asked in this way only. Now here the next question is, how is equilibrium of the consumer affected when MUM happens to rise and PX is constant? Now here in this case equilibrium is struck when we know that MUX upon PX is equal to MUM. So here the consumer, the equilibrium of the consumer affected, they are asking when MU happens to rise and PX is constant. So what will happen if MUM rises, if this thing rises and PX is constant, PX is not, price is not changing, the consumer will not be in equilibrium, because MUX upon PX would then be less than MUM. Okay, so this equal to sign will not be there. This equal to sign will not be there, because if MUM happens to rise, it will be like MUX upon PX. So here MUM is greater, so this arrow will be opened at the side of MUM. So here this is not the situation of equilibrium, because MUX upon PX would then be less than MUM. So here this thing will be less than MUM. So this will happen only when consumption of commodity X is decreased in accordance with the law of diminishing marginal utility. So when this will happen? When the consumption of X commodity is decreased. Now here this means this, if this MUX upon PX is less than this MUM, and as I told you earlier that suppose here what is happening, and which in which condition this less than sign will become equal. So here the answer that the consumer should spend less money on X good. So what will happen? Sorry. the desire for this X commodity will increase. So the answer should be that the consumer should spend less money on X good. So what will happen due to it? When he will spend less money, the desire of X commodity will rise. And when this desire of X commodity will rise, it will become equal to MUM. Okay. So this sign will change to equal to. Okay. Then the consumer will be in equilibrium. Because here in this case the consumer was not in equilibrium. So this will be your answer. Now the next question, the price of coffee rises while the price of the tea remains constant. How would the consumer react to this situation to restore his equilibrium? Use the law of equimarginal utility or the two commodity case. So according to the law of equimarginal utility, this is the condition: MUX upon PX is equal to MUY upon PY is equal to MUM. Okay. Now here, suppose this marginal utility of money, this is 1. So what will be our equation then? It will be just this much. MUX upon PX is equal to MUY upon PY if this thing is 1. So this is becoming negligible, so you can ignore this. Now here, let X be the price of coffee and Y be the tea. So this X is coffee and this Y is tea. Now what are they saying here? Telling you the price of coffee rises. So X is coffee. So this price here is rising. So when price of X commodity will rise, definitely you are not going to spend any kind of money on this. So where you will be spending? On Y good. So what will happen as a result of it? When you'll spend less money on this and more money on this. Okay. So where you will be getting more satisfaction, because this X good, this coffee has become costlier in the market. So that is the reason you move to Y good. So you will be getting more satisfaction in Y good. So the equation now become MUX upon PX less than MUY upon PY. So less than. So here we can say that the utility, marginal utility which a consumer is getting is high in Y commodity or T. Why is getting more satisfaction with T? Because coffee price has been raised, that is PX. Okay, so that is why he's moving to the other option, which is T. So here he is getting more satisfaction in Y good. Now as a result, now what should he do in order to achieve equilibrium? So for restoring, what he should do? He should spend more money on Y good. Why he will spend on Y good? Because the greater than sign, this sign is opened towards MUY. So this sign is opened towards like this MUY. So our answer will be that the consumer is going to spend on MUY only. So what will happen? Law of diminishing marginal utility will apply and the desire or MUY will fall. When this MUY will fall and consumer is not spending any money on MUX good or coffee, then the desire for MUX will rise. Suppose you are drinking lot and lot of tea, or you are purchasing lot and lot of tea. So definitely you are not purchasing or spending money on coffee, which is X commodity. So automatically the desire for that coffee or X commodity will rise, and there will be a stage when this MUX upon PY, this thing will become equal to MUY upon PY. So this is how he is going to restore his level of equilibrium. Now the basic limitation of utility analysis. The basic limitation of utility analysis relate to the basic assumption of this analysis that utility can be expressed in cardinal numbers, implying that utility can be measured in the units like 1, 2 and 3. Is it really possible? Do you as a consumer ever express your satisfaction in terms of units like 1, 2 and 3? So I ask you that, is there a situation with you? Suppose you are going to the market and you are purchasing a chocolate. So after eating that chocolate, have you ever said that you have got satisfaction of 10 utils? What do you say at that time? Definitely at that point of time you will say that you liked it very much. Or sometime you will say, if you are having it every day, you are having chocolate, then it's a normal thing for you. So what you will say? It's okay, I had it yesterday only. So I'm not that much satisfied because I had it in the morning only or yesterday only. But suppose if you're eating that chocolate after a long time, so your satisfaction will be very high. So here either it will be high or it will be low. So what are we learning in this chapter? We are learning about this satisfaction, and this guy Marshall told that this satisfaction can be measured in form of numbers. Okay, so here all this satisfaction is been counted in form of number, which is called as cardinal number, and the utility will be counted, this number will be actually counted as utils. Just like you are having that chocolate, so according to Marshall, you will get 10 utils of satisfaction or 8 utils of satisfaction. If you are less satisfied, then maybe possible you are getting only 2 utils of satisfaction. So he was measuring this thing in terms of a cardinal numbers. So here perhaps we never do like this. Satisfaction at best can be ranked high or low, or it can be compared when the two goods are simultaneously consumed. So when we consume two goods, then definitely we can do comparison between the two goods, that where we are getting the more satisfaction. Suppose you are purchasing two different types of shoes. So definitely in one shoe you will be more satisfied. Suppose you have desire for two shoes and you purchase one is sport shoe and once you purchase this formal shoe, so definitely may be possible that your choice was towards sport shoes and you got more satisfaction in terms of sport shoes than the other formal shoes, but you had to purchase both, but the satisfaction or this utility which has been provided to you is different in both the cases. So here you are feeling most satisfied with this sport shoes. It provided you more satisfaction or more marginal utility. So easily you can compare, not in form of number, but you can say that you are extremely satisfied in purchasing sport shoes than this other formal shoes. So it is hard to measure it in figures. So here they are saying that it is hard to measure any kind of satisfaction in form of these cardinal numbers. It is owing to this limitation of utility analysis that Hicks challenged the relevance of this technique in explaining consumer equilibrium. Now there is another economist, his name is Hicks. So he challenges this theory of cardinal numbers. That is, this is all rubbish according to him. That how can this satisfaction can be counted in terms of numbers? So either it can be high or low. So it should be done in this way. So what he did, he offered the technique of indifference curve analysis, the subject matter of the next chapter. So your next chapter will be based on the curves called as the indifference curve, and this was the creation of Hicks. So you will be learning later on about this. So we have completed so far. These were the important questions over here which you should understand. Now there are some basic questions here, like who is the consumer? A consumer is an economic agent who uses goods and services for the direct satisfaction of his or her wants. So now who is consumer? Consumer can be any person who is using goods for his own satisfaction. He wants to maximize his satisfaction. So that is a consumer. Now second question, what is meant by utility? So utility is nothing but satisfaction. So utility refers to the want satisfying capacity of a commodity. When you purchase something, it has some utility inside it. So you can say that this thing is nothing but a want satisfying power of a commodity. Now what is cardinal number? The cardinal number is just like a normal number in which the satisfaction is measured. Now what is meant by ordinal measurement? This ordinal theory will be given by Higgs. In the next chapter we are going to learn about it. So here ordinal measurement of utility refers to the measurement of utility in terms of some ranks, high or low. So here you will be learning about the high utility or low utility is there. This will be according to the creation of this theory, of this ordinal theory, which has been given by Higgs. Now what is total utility? Total utility is the sum total of utility derived from the consumption of all the units. So just like when you are consuming various units like first, second unit, third unit. So at that point of time, what was happening? Definitely you are getting some utility, total utility. So that total utility which you are getting, suppose by consuming first you are getting 10 utils. So by consuming second you will not get 20, maybe possible it will increase only by 8, so it will be 18, then maybe possible it will be 24. And how much you have just got the total utility? 24 here. So if you make one more column here and write marginal utility, so here at first unit you will be having the same total utility is 10, so here mu will also be 10. Now how much it is increasing? By 8 here. Okay, now how much it is increasing here? Only by 6. So TU is increasing but at a decreasing rate, and MU is continuously falling here. So here if you do the total of 10, 8 and 6, this at the third unit the total will be equal to 24. So total utility is nothing but the total of marginal utility at third unit. Now what is marginal utility? It refers to the additional utility due to the consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. So when you are consuming one additional unit of a commodity, it will provide you some kind of satisfaction. Like in the previous example, just now I have written what I wrote over there, that at the first unit it was 10, then at the second unit it was 8. So how much it was increased in terms of total utility? The at first unit total utility was 10, and at the second unit when it was consumed it moved to 18. So increase here is of 8. So one additional commodity when it is consumed, so you get some additional satisfaction. That additional satisfaction when you consume one extra unit, it is called as marginal utility. Okay. Now, what is the law of diminishing marginal utility? The law of diminishing marginal utility states that as more and more unit of commodity are consumed, marginal utility derived from every additional utility must fall or decline. Okay. Now here there is one more question here similar to that one. Mux upon Px is greater than MUy upon Py. The consumer should buy more units or more commodity of Y and less commodity of X. So what we should do over here? Where the arrow is opened like this towards X. And what are they saying? That consumer should buy more of Y. So if, see here, the arrow is open towards X. So here we will say that consumer should spend money more on X good, then only this law of diminishing marginality utility will come into picture, and then MUX will fall. And according to this statement over here, what they are saying, that he should spend money buy more Y good. So already he is getting less satisfaction on Y good, because here this arrow is showing that MUY is providing him lesser satisfaction or lesser utility. So here in this case what will happen? If you spend more money on Y good, so this will go further down and this arrow will still remain like this. So he is not going to get equilibrium in this way. So he will have to spend on this X good because the arrow is open on side of X commodity. Okay. So this type of question comes. So this is all for today. I'll be seeing you in the next lecture class. Thank you.